retrofit the
Yep.
tank.
Yeah, that's what I.
I call this meeting to order. Let's salute the flag.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Sandy, if we can have the minutes from the previous monthly meeting.
The Silver Lake Township Supervisors held their regular monthly meeting on Monday, October 6, 2014 at the Silver Lake Township Meeting. Francis Coulon called the meeting to order at 7 p.m. and opened with a salute to the flag. The minutes from the September meeting were read and approved on a motion made by Evan Everett and seconded by Butch DeLucia. The treasurer's report was read, approved, and held for audit on a motion made by Evan Everett and seconded by Butch DeLucia. Correspondence. Act 14 notice was received from Bergman Associates on behalf of Buckeye Pipeline for site work off State Route 167 near Factory Bridge. Public comment. John Demery asked about pothole repairs on Barney Road. Evan Everett said he took a look at the road and will be making repairs within a week. Mr. Demery asked about the stone oil project for Barney Road. Evan Everett explained there were unexpected road repairs with the storm. It is now late in the season for the stone and oil project for Barney Road. John Demery asked about a check to Vestal Asphalt. Evan Everett explained it was the stone and oil project for John C. McNamara Drive and Lake Sophia Roads. It was asked about the road project with the Act 13 funds. The Hebe Road project has been completed. George Buckham said the road crew did a very professional job. John Demery said the road crew did a great job on Church Road as well. Earl Lesh expressed concerns with four-wheelers running on Kennedy Road. On a Sunday morning at 2:30 a.m., the four-wheelers went through. He has a neighbor who has had his garage broken into. Old business results for the two 2.5-ton military water trucks on Alkins International. The Kaiser Jeep had a high bid of $2,300, and the American General had a high bid of $3,300. Butch DeLucia and Evan Everett were satisfied with the bids. Francis Ruhan made a motion to accept the two bids. Evan Everett seconded. All approved. All the bills for the Hebe Road reconstruction project have not been received. Once all the invoices are in, Francis Ruhan will put them to a resolution to reflect the actual Act 13 income and expenses. Resolution 2014-1 will replace 2013-4. New business. Francis Ruhan said work has started on the 2015 budget. Francis Ruhan made a motion for 2 work sessions, Monday, October 20th and Monday, October 27th at 7 p.m. Butch DeLucia seconded. All approved. If more work sessions are needed, they will be advertised after the November meeting. Francis Ruhan read the police report. There were 23 incidences for the month of September. That includes 1 burglary and 5 traffic stops. Road report. Evan Everett gave the road report, getting the equipment ready for winter as well as taking care of ditch work. John Demery asked if there was a 5 to 10 year plan for road work. Evan Everett said, there is no plan, just trying to take one road at a time for upgrades as well as regular road maintenance. Some road projects are being done through dirt and gravel road program, but areas have to be approved by the county. Assessment permits none, driveway and road crossing permits none, road crossing permit, driveway permit on Quinn Road for Fermi. Francis Ruhan made a motion to pay the bills as submitted. Evan Everett seconded. All approved. As no further business was presented, Francis Ruhan made a motion to adjourn the meeting. Evan Everett seconded. All approved.
I'll make the motion to accept the minutes as read.
Okay. I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Sandy, if we can have the treasurer's.
Seth Everett, $999.53. Chris Short, $900.75. Chase Card Services, $141.19. John Nagy, $104.56. Richard DeLucia, $105.06. Francis Fruhan, $458.32. Timothy Berg, $1,086.09. Evan Everett, $1,009.21. Josh Hale, $323.65. Martin Millard, $542 even, and Edward Noack, $42.82. Levi Tiffany, $190.46. Plavrak, $175.84. Frontier, $316.83. Geisinger, $1,629.68. Timothy Berg, $1,086.09. Evan Everett, $1,009.21. Josh Hale, $163.73. Levi Tiffany, $246.85. Martin Millard, $843.19. Anthony P. Litwin, $727.50. Bennett's Auto Repair, $300 even. Chase Card Services, $131.97. Cintas, $449.12. J&G Excavating, $4,920 even. L&D Stoneworks, $6,392.95. Randy Powers Trucking, $5,120 even. Silver Lake Volunteer Fire Company, $13,574.84. Stony Mountain, $4,960 even. Amanda Disposal, $60 even. Times Shamrock, $20.70. Williams Oil and Propane, $501.32. PAUC Fund, $34.54. PSATS UC Group Trust, $99.49. Susquehanna County, $120 even. Sandy Brink, $250. Seth Everett, $999.53. Chris Short, $946.83. That's it. Started with a balance of $368,480.18. Receipts at $29,112.37. Disbursements at $58,962.78, leaving a balance of $338,629.77. State funds, Shenango Supply, $135.36. Cook Brothers Truck Parts, $545.65. Five Star Equipment, $3,550 even. Montrose Auto Parts, $74.32. Williams Oil, $5,646.04. Started with a balance of $121,964.47. Receipts at $1.70. Disbursements, $9,951.37, leaving a balance of $112,014.80. Police Fund, Chase Card Services, $332.60. People's Security Bank and Trust, $2,075 even. AT&T, $52.74. John Nagy, $95.51. Frontier, $176.93. AT&T, $53.45. Bennett's Auto Repair, $582.07. Silver Lake General Fund, $15,984.19. And Verizon, $95.24. Started with a balance of $103,502 even. Receipts at $4,033.57. Disbursements at $21,002.01, leaving a balance of $86,533.56. Building Fund, People's Security, $1,213.99, and John Nagy, $68.22. Started with a balance of $26,918.98. Receipts at $1,357.31. Disbursements at $1,282.21, leaving a balance of $26,994.08. Fire Fund, Silver Lake Fire Company, $2,161.52. John Nagy, $42.63. Started with a balance of $907.65. Receipts at $1,306.50. Disbursements at $2,204.15, leaving a balance of $10. Equipment Fund, John Nagy, $4.26. Started with a balance of $34,048.80. Receipts at $1,439.10. Disbursements at $4.26, leaving a balance of $35,473.64.
I'll make a motion to accept the treasurer's report as read.
Okay, I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, correspondence. All right, I'd like to make a correction regarding an Act 14 notice that was announced at the September, was it the September meeting or an August date?
Yeah.
At the September regular monthly meeting. I incorrectly said that The notice was for a new pipeline paralleling the existing laser midstream line. Evan had spoke with Williams personnel, and they explained it's just a resubmission of the original Act 14 notice. Is that?
Yeah,
Motion
they're gonna be doing some rework. We have a copy of it up here, maybe
Yeah.
I'd like to see it.
So I guess, you know, what kind of threw us at the project description is just the existing project includes 23.5 miles of continuous diameter. So essentially, it's a resubmission of the original submission, you know, as we understand it. So, if anybody wants to read the whole thing, I'll leave it here.
So they're not doing another pipeline?
No, that's my understanding, they're not at this time. So it was just a misinterpretation.
So it's not
on our part.
repairing the pipeline or fixing
They
it?
didn't even say what they're doing specifically. There were things that, it reads that there were some things done that weren't in the original permit. You could read it and you'll know as much as we do. And maybe we just make a note rather than amend the meeting minutes of it. We can just put a note that there's a correction to see so people don't misinterpret it if they read the September minutes online. Okay. Before we go to public comment, James from Susquehanna Disposal's here. He just wanted to address, you know, the supervisors and the public regarding, you know, some garbage issues. You want to just come up and just stand and speak and everybody knows.
Yeah, just wanted to let everybody know, and I didn't want to let the police department know. There's issues where sometimes there's a bag of trash left on the road. Perhaps it came from our truck, maybe not. But we obviously don't want to leave it there. But if we don't know it's there, then we can't go out and clean it up. So we just wanted the township to know, citizens, that if anybody sees where there's a mess, we will come out and clean it up. You know, nobody wants to see a bag of trash laying along the road for weeks on end. So, we can let the police department know too. I have had other instances with tin with bags of trash, and he's handled them with me, but I think as much trash as we haul out of the township, I thought it was a good idea to at least let as many people know that we are willing to go out and clean up the mess. If anybody sees the mess, maybe they can report it.
You want to leave them a number or give them some contact information?
What's that?
You want to leave the numbers of people where you get it, and or just they can look it up themselves? It's up to you.
Well, we had the website, susquehannadisposal.com, and or we're in the phone book. Sometimes we're in the grapevine, once in a while.
Okay.
Recycling.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yeah, we'll catch it in public comment there.
Can't just question them now?
You want to answer it? You mind answering the
Sure.
question? Go ahead. Okay.
I was just wondering, has there been any problems that you're making this statement? Have
Well,
you
there was a
seen
bag.
garbage?
What started was the road department had sold some bags, and then there was another bag on the road going to Choconut, Quaker Lake Road on that end, and the conservation officer found that bag. And typically, if the conservation officer finds one, then he calls the person with their numbers in the bag, and then they call us. And then try to resolve it without a big problem.
All right. Well, thanks for making that offer.
Okay.
Thank
There
you.
was issues with that. There was also issues with some residents calling us that other people were putting their garbage reserves inside the lady's can. And then we did handle that with through Tim, and he
That was
went
on
to,
North Shore Drive.
yeah.
Somebody
So,
was just,
somebody was dropping garbage off for free there.
pulled over, put their bags in the can, and then left, and it was, kept on happening.
Oh.
But Tim handled that.
Yeah. Okay,
All right. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
all right, thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thanks.
Okay. Public comment.
Jen Gregory. I wanted to see if you guys could add a few more police hours. Since we had that incident on 167, I let you know where a car went past a stop bus. If we could have more patrol during
You
those.
saw a car pass a stop school bus with the signs up?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So I wanted to see where the budget was at, if you guys had more money, if you would at least consider adding a few more hours that we
Well,
have.
we try to schedule as much as we can, depending on officers' availability.
Thank you.
John?
A couple questions on the treasurer's report. There was a $13,000 check, I guess, out of the general fund of the fire department.
That's the fire relief fund,
That's what?
the fire relief fund.
Okay. And on the police report, there was like a $2,000 check to the bank.
Police car.
Their police car, their payment.
Was that a budgeted principal or interest payment or both?
Yeah, I think it was, yeah.
2,000, was it $2,200? Do you remember the
Something like
check?
that, yeah.
That was the money that came in from the Ford Explorer,
Oh,
the
okay.
sale of the Ford Explorer, and we did that through the meeting, and then that was passed on and put on the payment of the Tahoe.
So how much do we still owe on the Tahoe approximately?
$12,816. How's that? And 6 cents.
Approximately.
Well, and I didn't hear a beginning and ending balance on that account.
On the police account?
Yep.
There was, it was
Didn't I read?
not, yeah, you read it, but I'm not gonna quote it to be exact, 96,000.
Okay, we started, you want just the ending balance, or you want the whole thing?
Shoot the works.
Okay, we started with 103,502 even, receipts at $4,033.57, disbursements 21,002.01, ending balance 86,533.56.
86, okay.
Is the general fund being up to date for reimbursements for payroll?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you give us the times when they are patrolling, the police? When are they patrolling? Like, what are their hours during the week?
I'm not gonna give you the schedule.
Yeah.
We're
So-
not a 24-hour a
It's-
day police service, and I'm not gonna give you the schedule.
And then Jenny asked a question about more patrolling, so what did you say? I couldn't understand you. Like, are you going to give more time in that
We
corner?
try to schedule as much as we can, it's based on officers' availability.
So what does that mean? I mean, that means
Means
what?
what I said, that I can't.
That means, are you going to be patrolling that area or not? During the week, does that mean yes or no?
Patrol that area? 167 is patrolled all the time, I pass police cars all the time.
It does? I mean, I rarely see them. I'm on 167, I rarely see anybody. And then do you have any information on when, if and when WPX is coming back? And no updates on that?
Nothing.
No.
Okay. All right, a lot of business covered tonight. The new business, I'd like to change the December regular monthly Board of Supervisors meeting from Monday, December 1st at 7 p.m. to Tuesday, December 2nd at 7 p.m. We had kind of just, discussed availability during our work session. Everybody was available, and I'll ask Evan and Sandy first if you guys have any problem scheduling that.
No.
Any comment for the public on that? That we can make a motion on that. We'll advertise that it be changed. We'll lump it in with our other advertising for the budget. We'll post it on the on the door of the window. So. Okay. Read this out specifically. Okay, I make a motion that we change the date of the December regular monthly Board of Supervisors meeting from Monday, December 1st at 7 p.m. to Tuesday, December 2nd at 7 p.m. Have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, great. All in favor? Aye. All right, thank you. On to the budget. And I'll just read this. Let me fill in some dates here first. Okay. The proposed 2015 budget is nearly prepared. I'd like to advertise, we still need some more budget work sessions, so I'd like to advertise for budget work sessions at 7 PM on the following Mondays. That'd be Monday, November 17th and the 24th. Also in the same ad, we can advertise that the 2015 budget will be presented at our next regular monthly meeting at 7 PM on Tuesday, December 2nd. And the proposed budget will be available for inspection by appointment at the Township Building. We're usually able to get that online right after the meeting, aren't we? So we'll get it online. We seem to never do that every year, so people can just go to our website and find it. We have to set a date for the budget adoption meeting on the calendar here. I think it needs to be advertised for 20 days, so last year we did it usually between Christmas and New Year's. That's out of the December schedule. Yeah, or the 29th, I think we did it like the 28th or 9th last year. Do I have a preference, or?
29th is fine.
29th, are you saying?
Yeah.
That should be available, okay. All right, so we're proposing the proposed budget adoption meeting on the 29th.
That's 7.
Want to do it at night, in the evening? That'd be Monday night at 7, just like, yeah, that sounds good. 7 p.m. Okay, I'll make a motion to, that we advertise the following. I'll just kind of re-summarize everything. Okay, these are the meetings we'd advertise. We can run them all in one ad. I'll make a motion to run an ad for the following. Change the regular monthly meeting from Monday, December 1st to Tuesday, December 2nd, 7 p.m. Also advertise for additional budget work sessions at 7 p.m. on Monday, November 17th and Monday, November 24th. We'll also advertise that the 2015 budget will be presented at our regular monthly meeting at 7 p.m. Tuesday, December 2nd, and it'll be available for inspection. And the budget adoption meeting will be at 7 p.m. on Monday, December 29th, 2014.
I'll second it.
Okay. Any questions from anybody about those dates? We'll get them advertised and posted. Okay. First reading, second, all in favor? Aye. Okay. While we're on the subject of budget, so far we have, we've pretty much gone, we're just tweaking little things to reflect actual costs, but we're not expecting any change in the millage from last year, and that would include keeping the Act 13 funded real estate tax reduction or credit, whatever we call it. So that's just a note. Also, based on our millage shift, was it 2014? Last year we did it, the first year?
Yeah.
Okay. In 2014, we shifted the millage. We got all the equipment paid off, so we took some millage from the equipment fund, put it in the building fund. So rather than have an approximate 15-year mortgage, we were going to be able to pay that down in about 3.5 years. And then once it's paid off, then we put the money back in the proper, in the equipment fund. So based on our 2014 millage shift from equipment to building fund, we expect the building to be paid off in 2016, is that?
Or earlier.
Okay. So that's good, I'm happy with that. So, no action, I'm just kind of surprising people there. All right. Several times this year we talked about I guess, rewriting or doing an amendment to our planning commission ordinance. Our solicitor looked at it, and to amend it, he said it was just too confusing, so he proposed just rewriting the ordinance and superseding the existing. So he prepared a draft, sent it to us, gave us the, a spot to fill in the terms. We discussed it at the planning meeting, went through it with the planning commission. I think they just had one question regarding the planning commission submitting a report to the board of supervisors, after the year's over. And I did ask our solicitor, and he said he really only put anything that was required. So I think we can make it pretty simple, that the planning commission just have a cover letter and essentially say, here's attached to the meeting minutes of all the business transacted this year, and I'd be very satisfied with that, if you guys are too.
I agree.
Okay. So let me kind of read this. I'll just read the whole thing starting again. Our solicitor has drafted a new ordinance regarding the establishment of our planning commission. The original ordinance number 6, and I'll give it a short title of to create a planning commission. It was enacted in 1974, is out of date, not in conformance with the current municipality's planning code. Additionally, the terms are out of sync when the planning commission was expanded from 7 to 9 members in '03 and reduced back to 7 in '05, and they need to be officially corrected. Other than properly reorganizing the planning commission and straightening out the terms, it does not create any new regulations on land use. Our subdivision and land development ordinance covers that, so it's really just kind of updating our ordinance, how the planning commission is supposed to operate, and really doesn't create any more additional regulation. I'll kind of try to skim through this, and we'll read the whole thing. I'm essentially going to propose that we review it, have any final corrections by our solicitor. We'll look at it again, and we'll present it at the next monthly meeting, and then we can vote on it. So I'll kind of read this as fast as I can. It will be called Ordinance 50, and here's kind of a long title. An ordinance of Silver Lake Township, Susquehanna County, Pennsylvania, repealing ordinance number 6, entitled an ordinance creating the Township Planning Commission for the Township of Silver Lake, to be a Township Planning Commission, establishing the terms of office of the membership, setting forth their purpose and duties, and further conferring on the commission the powers and duties of zoning commission pursuant to Article 20A, Section 2051 to 2057, inclusive of the second-class township code as amendment. And that was the name of the old ordinance, the long title. And enacting an ordinance entitled, an ordinance signifying the intention and desire of Silver Lake Township Board of Supervisors of Silver Lake Township to restructure its planning commission under the provisions of the Pennsylvania Municipalities Planning Code, Act 247 of 1968, as reenacted and amended, blah, blah. And, I don't know what this is, at SEQ, I'm not sure what that means, probably Latin, and confirming and ratifying the term of office of planning commission members. It is hereby ordained and enacted, and it kind of repeats the same title again. And that is repealed, and the following is enacted in its place. Section 1, the Board of Supervisors hereby signifies its intention and desire to reorganize its planning commission under the provisions of Article 2 of the MPC, that means Municipalities Planning Code. Section 2, Planning Commission shall consist of 7 members, all of whom shall be citizens of the township, no less than 5 of whom shall be citizen members, and no more than 2 of whom shall be officers or employees of the township. The term of office of members shall be 4 years and should expire on December 31st or until a successor has been appointed. The terms of the existing planning commission members is hereby ratified to be confirmed. And since we reconstructed, the chain of appointments back to 1973, and when we had 2 resignations out of the first 7, and then 8 and 9 resigned, we switched 8 and 9 back into the first 7, and here's what we came up with. Member 1, term expiring December 31st, 2015. That would be Joe Soden. Member 2, expires December 31st, 2015. That's Francis Fruhan. Member 3, expiring December 31st, 2016. Steve Whitmore Jr. Member 4, expiring December 31st, 2016. Brian Gardner. Then in 2017, member 5, Carol Everett. Member 6, expires 2017 also. Edward Soden. Member 7, expires December 31st, 2014. Kate Bowman. So essentially we'll have, every year we'll have 2 members, the next, 2 the next, 1, and then repeat that cycle. In the event of vacancies, the governing body shall appoint a member to fill the expired term. Subsequent members of the Planning Commission shall be appointed by the Board of Supervisors by resolution, which shall also state the term to be filled by each Planning Commission. I have a question about that with this list here. We generally do it the organizational meeting. I'm not even sure if it's talking about the whole list, but I'll either have an explanation of what that means and why it says that, or if it's, I'll find out more, and I'll get it revised appropriately. Section 3, the Planning Commission shall, at the request of the Board of Supervisors, have the power and shall be required to prepare a comprehensive plan for development of the municipality as set forth in the NPC and present it for consideration to the Board of Supervisors. I think the latest comprehensive plan was adopted probably in 07, 08, something like that. The Planning Commission shall maintain and keep on file records of its actions. All records and files of the Planning Commission shall be kept in the possession of the governing body. So we'll have copies of that too. I think they keep their own, and we'll talk about getting some kind of, safe or fire safe or something for those records. We'll talk about that in the next meeting. The Planning Commission, at the request of the governing body, may, 1, make recommendations to the governing body concerning the adoption or amendment of an official map, prepare and present to the governing body, the municipality, a zoning ordinance, and make recommendations to the governing body on proposed amendments to it, prepare and recommend and administer subdivision and land development and planned residential development regulations, prepare and present to the governing body of the municipality a building code and housing code, and make recommendations concerning proposed amendments thereto. We already have one of those mandated by the state, but I believe, again, this comes out of the NPC. Do such other acts or make studies as may be necessary to fulfill the duties and obligations imposed by the NPC. Prepare and present to the governing body of the municipality an environmental study. Submit to the governing body of a municipality a recommended capital improvements program. Prepare and present to the governing body of the municipality a water survey, which should be consistent with the state water plan and any applicable water resources plans adopted by a river basin commission. The water survey should be conducted in consultation with any public water supplier in the area. Promote public interest in understanding of the comprehensive plan and planning. Make recommendations to the governmental, civic, private agencies and individuals as to the effectiveness of the proposals of such agencies and individuals. Hold public hearings and meetings. Present testimony before any board. Require for the department and agencies of the municipality such available information. 8, enter upon any land and make examinations and land surveys with the consent of the owner. Study regarding the feasibility of using renewable energy resources in specific areas within the municipality. review the zoning ordinance, subdivision and land development ordinance, official map, and other such ordinances or regulations governing the development of land, no less frequently than it reviews the comprehensive plan. If I say uncle, you can say uncle. The planning commission was accept governed by the we're almost done. The planning commission may, with the consent of the governing body, accept and utilize any funds, personnel, or other assistance made available by the county, the Commonwealth, or the federal government, any of their agencies, or from private sources. The governing body may enter into agreements or contracts regarding the acceptance or utilization of the funds or assistance in accordance with the governmental procedures of the municipality. Section 5, except for elected or appointed officers of the township, members of the planning commission shall receive compensation and amounts established by the board of supervisors by resolution from time to time. Sort of organizational meeting will have to do a resolution. Planning pay. Okay. The commission shall elect its own chairman and vice chairman and create and fill all other offices as it may be determined. Officers shall serve annual terms and may succeed themselves. The commission may make and alter laws and rules and regulations to govern its procedures consistent with the ordinances in the municipality and the laws of the Commonwealth. The commission shall keep a full record of its business and shall annually make a written report by March 1st of each year of its activities to the governing body. Interim reports may be made as often as may be necessary or as requested by the governing body. Any member of the planning commission, once qualified and appointed, may be removed from office for malfeasance, misfeasance, or nonfeasance in office, or for other just cause by a majority vote of the board of supervisors, taken after the member has received 15 days advance notice of the incident to take such a vote. A hearing shall be held in connection with the vote if the members shall request it in writing. Any appointment to fill a vacancy created by removal shall be only for the unexpired term. All other resolutions and ordinance or part thereof inconsistent herewith or hereby repealed. That's the end of it. It has the adoption and the signature spots and the date. Any questions? I'll probably read this whole thing next month again, in the finalized version. Maybe I can post it up there. Yeah, John.
A governing body, who or what is that?
That'd be us, the board of supervisors of the governing body. Or it might be the borough council. It's kind of generally written for
The borough council.
like in Montrose, the borough council would be their governing body. So
How does this differ from the existing ordinance, other than you've spelled out, I guess, in a little bit more definitive way, how people rotate on and off of it?
yeah, the original ordinance had a totally different, what do you call it, number of terms to be added each year. It did not match the municipality's planning code.
You're talking about terms for members?
Yeah.
Okay, so
It might have said, a 4-year term, a 3-year term. It didn't match. It's supposed to be no more than, I think, no more than 2 a year. Where I think before it might have been 4 and 3. It was kind of odd. And it could have been, that's the way the MPC might have read in 1973.
so other than that, nothing else is different?
No, we're not, it's not a law, there's no new laws, it has nothing to do with setbacks, with lots, with development, it's just reorganizes the planning commission, under the current MPC. And if you like,
No, I'm just curious.
yeah, I could,
It'd take you 3 hours of reading to see how it compares to the old.
yeah, I think the original, I would have just printed it, it was on legal size, this wasn't easy for me to run legal paper through.
So it just more clearly defines.
And clearly and
Come and go.
correctly, in accordance with the current law, defines it.
Okay.
All right, so, and that, according to MPC, that has to be advertised. If we're gonna do anything regulated by the MPC, we have to advertise that. So we can do that, actually go over to our next monthly meeting. the ad is a lot more probably complicated than our regular ad, so our solicitor can prepare that. All right, I read the ordinance. This can be presented and considered for adoption at our next monthly meeting. I've asked for questions, so I guess I will make a motion to have our solicitor prepare an advertisement to have a final version of the proposed ordinance presented at the Tuesday, December 2nd, regular monthly meeting, and that the proposed ordinance will be considered for adoption at the same meeting. I have a second on that.
I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, I'll just call Paul with and tell him the date we're gonna do. He said he can actually send us a Word document, and maybe when you send your other, you can just send it to them. All right. That's done. Next, I think you asked John how much we owed on the Tahoe. That's next order of business. Evan, when we were doing the budget, we realized this thing is almost paid off. So Evan got the exact number. Is that as of next month?
No, that's as of this Friday.
Okay,
That payoff date's good to this Friday.
okay, all right. So if we can get our check out this Friday, then that's good. If not, you just have to adjust the amount a little bit. Okay, so at our last budget work session, we determined we have approximately 12,000, it's not approximate anymore, but $12,816.06 of debt remaining on our police Tahoe. We believe that we have enough money in the police account that when that if we pay this off, that when the balance rolls over into 2015, we could still pay the bills until the 2015 tax revenues start coming in around March or April. If we fall short of money before the 2015 revenues come in, we can meet payroll out of the general fund, and we do that a lot. If all the paychecks come out of the general fund anyway, because that's the way the comp is done, and the taxes are, the income tax reporting is done, and then the police fund reimburses the general fund. So if we fall short, we'll pay any payroll out of the general fund, and then it will be reimbursed. We'll reimburse the general fund as enough police fund revenue has been received. So prior to asking for a motion to pay off the remaining balance of the Tahoe, are there any questions or comments on that? Okay. Well, I think it's a good idea. Hopefully everybody else does too.
I mean, we've pushed it through pretty fast. I think we put 30,000 towards was it a little last year?
Yeah, with Act 13 money, it was either last year or the year before, so we paid one of them off with that.
I think the end of the payment term was 2017 was our projected date, so moved it up for the ways.
All right. Did I make a motion, or can you make a motion?
I'll make a motion to pay off the police Tahoe.
Okay, I'll second that. All in favor? Aye. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to think if I missed anything. Budget resolution discussions. Let's just skip over that. No, that was actually old business, I missed that. Okay. Regarding, and this is, I guess I'll talk about proposed budget resolution 2014-1, and that's for the actual amount of Act 13 money we received and the actual amount that was spent in 2014. We're still awaiting for a trucking bill.
Correct.
And that's holding us up, so we can't do the resolution. If we do not get that bill by next meeting, we have to get that resolution done this year. To reflect the budget, we'll put a lower number on it. We'll make that official at Act 13, and we'll pay him that, and I guess we'll have to wait till for the balance when we get the money.
We'll pick the rest up out of the general, out of the road budget in general.
Yeah, and then I guess we'll pay him out of general, but it sure be nice to get the number before then. All right, so that'd be 2014-1, and what that will do, that will replace our last resolution we did last year, and kind of got our system. Pretty much our last resolution of each year, we're naming them budget resolutions, and we estimate the amount we're going to receive, and we anticipate, and I'll kind of read it, at least the meaty part of it. I'll skip all the whereases and everything. This is a resolution provided for the appropriations of 2014 Act 13 revenue in the 2014 budget. Whereas we've received, and this is an exact number, $322,901 of Act 13 revenue. That amount will be shown as revenue under the budget line item 355.09, Act 13 revenue. And whatever this amount is, will be appropriated for the breakdown. $100,000 went to real estate tax reductions. Approximately, I'm going to say 109 and change, something like that. That once we get we'll go to maintenance and road materials, broken down for the following: 10 for dust control. We spent that. And then whatever that, approximately, less than 100,000 for the EV road project, that will go there. And the remaining, whatever that number turns out to be, the exact number, will go into transfer to capital reserve. And that amends 2013-4, which everything was just, we used estimates of this number. So the next, that's 2014-1, proposed resolution. So the second one we have to do, and we have to do this before we present the budget, get this guy adopted, and that essentially projects the Act 13 revenue, projects how we're going to use it in the budget, so we can at least get those line items, numbers in there, and they'll be changed once we get our exact numbers the next year. So this is 2014-2. In 2015, we'll have a resolution amending and replacing this with exact numbers. So here's my draft of it. And I think I'm, unless anybody finds a mistake, it's pretty close. We'll bump the number up that we expect to receive. Whereas the township, this will be 2014-2, whereas the township expects to receive in excess of $250,000 of Act 13 of 2012 impact fee in July 2015. Here's what we propose. $250,000 or amount actually received will be shown as revenue under budget line item 355.09 Act 13 revenue. Of this revenue, $110,000 will be appropriated in the 2014 budget as authorized by Act 13 for the following breakdown of revenue or expense accounts, which is a budget line item. $100,000 to provide township real estate tax reductions is authorized by Act 13 of 2012, Section 2314 G6 tax reductions, thus reducing budget revenue line item 301.10 real estate taxes current year by $100,000, yielding a calculated 2.3 mil reduction. Then there'll be $10,000 to 438.25 maintenance repair to roads. That'll be for dust control. And we'll leave a spot for a road project. We'll just put 0, and we could, just like the lines there, if we do a road project, we put the actual numbers, and then the balance, approximately $140,000, or actual remaining balance, that'll go in the capital reserve fund. And that can only be spent, it has to be something allowable by Act 13 and is further regulated by the second-class township code on capital reserve funds. So we'll have another long-winded meeting next month. Getting this stuff done. So really, I guess there's no action. I'm just telling you what we have to do next month. All right, that was old business. Police report. There were 17 incidents for the month of October, including 1 burglary. Road report, Ethan?
I mean, we've kind of finished up most of our road maintenance, we're preparing for winter now and hoping we don't get a lot of snow this winter, like we did last year. I was at a meeting, I don't know, it was a couple weeks ago, and depending on what our new governor, who we have for a new governor, this Act 13 money, they were kind of warning us may go away if the tax, if the way that's, I guess, what's the new
Somebody said at the meeting, I think if a
seven?
severance
Severance
tax is
tax.
enacted, then Act 13 would be repealed. I think
Correct.
that's what they said.
So stuff could change, which I guess, I mean, it was nice while we got the money, but if it does change, I mean, we're gonna be back to,
Yeah, we'll get it next year, but,
right, well, we hope.
yeah. We better. Or some.
This money could disappear, where is it gonna go?
To the state.
Somewhere else besides here?
More, I think it'll be spread out more, you know, all over the whole state instead of where it's, you know, locally. That's how it goes.
You see the political ads on TV.
Yeah, I do see the political ads on TV, and obviously, there's some candidates that seem to think that they want to get their hands on that money, to put it bluntly.
I mean, the state already gets I
Yeah.
think, and don't mark me, I think they get 43% right off the top already.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be, if it changes, it'll be different, you know? We aren't gonna, you know, and we aren't gonna get what we're getting in the townships they're used to getting, you know, some of them are getting up to, you know, over 500 now. And then there are some townships that haven't had any gas development, so to speak, and they'll have, you know, it could potentially mean that they, you know, wouldn't see.
So to boil this down, if the current governor is reelected, probably nothing will change,
Correct.
and if there's a new governor, it may change.
I mean,
This is all
anything,
hypothetical.
anything can change, but
All
they
hypothetical.
warned us that it could change, and they warned us all along to be careful how we spend the money.
Yeah.
And it's not always gonna be there.
Yeah, yeah. If it happens, I mean, at least I hope some portion would go to the host communities of these wells, because there are impacts. You know,
Absolutely.
I mean, we've been just very fortunate that the companies we've worked with have treated us very well. I mean, as far as what they put into the roads and stuff. Some companies are not that cooperative with townships, you know, and they're fighting with them, and, you know.
Well, if any county in this state needs money for roads, not just Silver Lake Township, it's Susquehanna County, our roads.
Yeah,
are
but there's
all-
not enough people to vote in Susquehanna County compared to other counties, and they need the money more. Everybody thinks they need the money more.
I can assure you, I've been in a lot of other counties, and you probably have too, and there's an awful lot better roads elsewhere.
Well, they can, you can always use more money, you know that.
Well, yeah, but I mean, basically,
Oh, yeah, definitely, I'm not
Yeah.
arguing.
I was at a residence installing a generator on a road that had 6 cars pass in 4 hours, and that was better than 81. The quality of that road, it was just amazing. You know, our roads around here, that road got more traffic, our roads here got more traffic in a half hour than that we got in a day.
So that's what it is, that was just bringing it up.
No, I appreciate it.
All right, anything else to add?
That's it.
Okay, assessment.
Can we have questions about roads? Are you done with roads, or?
If you want to, if you have a road question, you could, it's up to him if you want.
Are you still using brine for dust
No.
control? No, so what do you use for dust control?
We used some this summer, we're using a mixture of brine and liquid or not liquid, flake calcium.
And is the brine still from upstate New York?
Yeah. Every year when we reapply for, I mean, you saw the permits.
Hmm.
We reapply, they have the lab analysis for, you know, it's the same thing, but we've been using less salt brine, more calcium. Calcium works better.
Mm.
Okay, assessment permits, none. Driveway road crossing permits, nothing. Okay, make a motion to pay the bills.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
understand it.
In the shop, so.
Same thing I've heard from the others. They don't know.
No, I don't need
They
it.
don't know.
Because I want to, unless he needs me mail me a copy. I sent a bill to her, which was a non-bill, but it said she doesn't
It was a non-bill?
trade.
It was a non-bill.
But so, I don't know what he does. Brian Gertner's on the road, Joe Jason, I thought.
I'll get it for you.
He said, still on it? Yeah, Bud's on it. Joe's on it, but Jason's not on it. Joe.
I gotta hang a sign around this now.
But we've been here most every Monday night for budget work sessions, so we figured he was in the groove by now.
Here it says you can submit comments concerning this project within 30 days of this letter.
Yeah, I
So,
really don't know.
what kind of comments do you look
If anything's in violation of any regulations we have, I mean, we really don't have that level of regulation that, you know, we'd have to have a,
All right.
Something to do with land practices?
I don't know.
planning?
yeah, that'd be like
You know, my
our,
brain's
yeah,
going
if it's
too.
violating
I
our
can't
zoning
remember.
ordinance or a subdivision land development ordinance.
Maybe the
Besides,
time
If they were
changes.
doing
It's
a,
gonna
like
be
a
screwed
compressor
up
station
because
building, that would come
He'll
to
be here, he'll be here
the
then.
planning
in fact,
commission for
he
their
said-
review and
So has there
approval.
been
Gotta go
any
somewhere. My
submission
host
of that or
wants us
interest for
going way
compressor
back to a
station?
boat. I said,
Hmm,
stupid, it's not till the next day. I got my
See,
days
they had a
screwed
small
up. It
one
is
over-
tomorrow, voting. Not that it matters.
You mean a single one on the
Yeah.
site?
yeah, yeah.
Right,
which
you're
side
not
was
even
it?
confirming
I
it. His
can't
election
remember, it was
day
the one on the
tomorrow.
Bridgewater border. It was a
Oh,
small
over
one.
there, but not here in Silver Lake.
Okay.
Anything in Silver Lake Township?
Yeah, it was in Silver Lake.
It was?
Silver Lake, yeah.
So what's
It's
the-
accessed from Bridgewater, I believe.
Oh, do you know what the name of the site is? that has it?
I can't remember, can't remember. And there's a few, they're smaller ones.
Because they, you know, I had heard there were all kinds of problems with this laser pipeline that they had to repair too.
Yeah, you know, I hear, I guess not much,